My name is Martin Rees. I'm a professor at Cambridge University, a professor of astronomy and space science. Welcome to my exp. I've been a scientist specializing in a field that's developed very fast. So although I don't feel I've made any great individual contributions, I've been part of a debate which has, over the last half century, really deepened and broadened our understanding of the universe we live in. And I think when the history of science is written, what has been learnt about the universe in the last 50 years will be one of the real high points, along with the double helix and genetics and Darwin evolution and various other things like that. So I've been privileged to be part of a debate, which of course is an international debate, because science is an activity which straddles boundaries of nationality and faith more easily than other activities. So we're very international, and I think I've been privileged to be part of this international community trying to understand the world and the universe. I think imagination is certainly crucial. Much of our work obviously is, in a sense, fairly routine, following up ideas, gathering lots of data, etc. It's not all inspirational, but insights are clearly important, and you've got to have an imagination to decide which ideas look promising and which are just crazy. And so that's where judgment comes in, to actually have a feel for what ideas are likely to prove fruitful, and also which ideas can be tested, because, of course, the feature of science is that it's not just conjectures, it's conjectures which are tested and verified or refuted by experiments. So I think one important point is to pick topics to work on which are, in a sense, bite-sized. They're not too big to tackle in one go. To give an example, if you ask scientists what they're doing on a particular day, they probably won't say they're trying to cure cancer or they're trying to understand the universe. They say something which looks rather specific and detailed. But they realize that you can only tackle the big problems in a piecemeal way. Only cranks or maybe one or two geniuses can solve a big problem in one go. So science involves piecemeal efforts by the collaboration of many people to understand what's happening in a particular area of the natural world. And that's a satisfaction, because I think the social aspects of science are very important for many of us. It's important to realize that our everyday lives depend on scientific discoveries made often a century or so ago. There's a long transition between a discovery and its incorporation in a technology we all benefit from. And of course, the people who do the technology are not the same people as those who do the original thinking. And of course, one shouldn't be snobbish about this. Sometimes people think there's something specially rarefied and deep about what pure scientists do as compared to what engineers do. That's a very dangerous heresy. In fact, my engineering friends like a cartoon which showed a picture of two beavers looking up at a huge hydroelectric dam. One beaver says to the other, "I didn't actually build it, which is based on my idea." And that, I think, more accurately reflects the balance of effort and intellectual power between having an idea and working it through and developing it so that it's actually useful and beneficial. Even though professional science is going to be a minority pursuit, I think it's very important that everyone, all citizens have a feel for science, because it's clear that more and more of the decisions politicians have to make have a scientific element to them, be they on energy, climate, health, or the environment. And if we want to have democratic decisions where the debate involves all citizens and gets above the level of just slogans, then everyone has to have some feel for science and for numbers and statistics in order for the debate to be a serious one. And I think one good feature of the COVID-19 pandemic is that in many countries the scientists have become media stars. They've become familiar trying to explain to the wide public what the issues and uncertainties are. And I think this has helped the public to get a feel for science that is not always cut and dried. Scientists are often groping for the truth, and their understanding develops year by year, even month by month. But it's important that the scientists are listened to when their expertise is relevant, but everyone is aware that they are often themselves rather uncertain. And also, they must be aware that when politicians have to make a decision, then the scientific input is crucial, but of course, so is the input from ethicists and from economists as well.